Hey everyone, this is Tony Teaches Tech. I'm Tony, and in this video I'm going to show you how to create a free website with GitHub Pages. Now this is a 100% completely free website, free hosting, a free subdomain name, and what I'm going to do in this tutorial is walk you through the process of doing that. You have a couple different options for how you want to design your website. It's a simple website. It's not anything that is complex where you're doing database interactions or anything. It's more of a static website, good for just having like maybe an about page for yourself or links to your social, or a business website where you just want a landing page for people to come to. So that's something we'll learn how to do. Let's go ahead and get on into the tutorial here. And what I'm going to do, I'm at github.com. I'm going to log into my account and sign in here. And once you're in your GitHub account, once you created that, if you already have one, what you want to do is to create a new repository. And this repository is going to be the home for your website. So the thing that we have to know here is if you want a subdomain, a GitHub subdomain, you have to follow the format exactly as I'm going to show you here. Okay, so my username for GitHub is TonyFlow. And if I want my GitHub subdirectory to be tonyflow.github.io, I need to type that in specifically. So tonyflow.github.io. Now, if I type something else in place of TonyFlow, like lemon or something like that, it's not going to give me that URL. It has to be your domain name .github.io to take advantage of that subdomain. Okay, you can give it a description if you want to. This is going to be a public repository, obviously, because we want people to access it on the internet. And the only thing I'm going to do here is to add a README file. So let's go ahead and create this repository. And obviously by default, it is empty. But what I want to show you is if we go to settings and scroll down here to GitHub Pages, you'll see that your site is ready to be published at tonyflow.github.io. So let's see what that looks like. It's empty right now. There's no content whatsoever. But let me show you how we can use something called markdown. It's a very basic, it's actually what, if you're familiar with GitHub, it's what the READMEs use to create the README files with some amount of formatting. It's different from HTML, but we'll show you how to do HTML later. And I'm also going to show you a third option, which is using a custom, I guess, a theme that already exists, like a template. So let's start with Markdown, the very simple solution, and then we'll get a little bit more complex. So what we're going to do is to edit this README, because that's kind of what we're seeing on our website. And I'm going to get rid of everything in here. And I have some Markdown that I wrote before here, and it's basically just showing you how Markdown works. So for a H1 heading element, you do a hashtag followed by that. For a H6 heading element, you do 6 of them. You have bold text, italics text, block quotes, all this stuff. So this is kind of what it looks like. If you want to know how to do this on your own, you could just search GitHub Markdown. So I'm going to actually commit these changes. And now if we look at our website at tonyflow.github.io, and it does, the thing I'll say here is it does take a couple minutes to propagate if this isn't a caching issue. So let me see if these changes will show up in a guest window. They do not. So let me pause the video. I'll come back with you in a couple seconds when those changes actually are applied to our website. Okay, and those changes have just been applied to our live website. So tonyflow.github.io. You can see, like I was talking about, the header 1 element, the header 2 element, all the way down to header 6, and then we have our bold text, our italics text, block quotes, all that stuff. So this is an example of basically what you can do with simple Markdown, and we can do images too. So that's one option. Another option is the template that I was talking about. So let's go back here and let's try to apply a template to our website. So the templates, there's something called jekyll. That's where they come from. And I'm going to let me first show you the templates, and then I'll show you how you can get additional ones later on. So if we go to settings again for our repository and then go down to the GitHub Pages section, you'll see that we can choose a theme here. And like I was saying, it's a Jekyll theme. So let's click on choose a theme, and you have, I don't know, maybe 10 different themes that you can choose from here. for default. And what I'm going to pick, it really doesn't matter. Let's pick architect. That looks kind of cool. If you don't like these themes, like I said, I'll show you later on in the tutorial how you can get additional themes or where you can get them additional themes. But let's pick this one for now. Select that theme. And there's nothing else we have to do, because if we come back down here to GitHub pages section, you'll see that we're now using the architect theme. And if we refresh our page here, again, a caching issue. Let me pause a couple seconds, and then when this actually propagates, I'll get back with you. Okay, about a minute later, those changes have propagated, and we can see now that theme has been applied. So we got a nice header up here with a different type of font, and you can see that throughout the entire page here. We still have the same markup, the markdown, I should say, that we have been using, tables, images, all that stuff. So that is your second option to apply one of those Jekyll themes. And like I was saying, the third option is to upload an entire website, a static website, to your GitHub repository. And let me show you how to do that. So if we go back here to the root of our GitHub repository, let's first get rid of what we have in here, which is just the README and this YAML file that they created for us. So let's get rid of this. We'll delete that. Commit that. And then we'll delete this YML file. Commit. All right, so now we have an empty repository. We can add, and on my desktop, I should tell you, I have a static website with some HTML, CSS, JavaScript files, and some images as well. So what we can do is actually upload this entire directory to our GitHub repository. So we click on Add Files and Upload Files, and we can either drag and drop it or choose it. I'm just going to drag and drop this entire directory, and GitHub is smart enough. Actually, I want to not do the directory. I'll do the contents of the directory into here, and GitHub is smart enough to recursively upload those to the repository. So we're done with this, and while that's uploading, we'll scroll down to the bottom, and it looks like it actually finished by now. We have all those images, JavaScript files, CSS files, all that stuff for a static website. We can commit those changes, and it says it'll take a few minutes for this this process to complete, so it processes the files. And again, it looks like it finished pretty quickly. So at this point, now, if again we've familiar with the caching, the time it takes to propagate. Let's see if we have any luck with that. Not yet. Again, let me pause the video here. When this change propagates, I will resume the video with you. Okay guys, so it's been about like 10 minutes or so, as you can see here, from the last time that we committed these files, and it's not, GitHub Pages is not recognizing the index.html file, which is, as you can see here, it's a required file for this website to work. But what I did do is I went to /index.html, and it is serving my website as expected. So I think, based on my research, I think it's just a matter of time before whatever happens in the back end of GitHub, that it's recognizing that index file, and it is able to serve your website from your name.github.io. But unfortunately, that hasn't happened yet. But from experience, I know this will happen. It just might take a little bit of time. So anyway, we have our GitHub website here, and it is a static website. As you can see, all those files that we uploaded are being served directly from GitHub Pages hosting. And everything up until this point, we are working with tonyflow.github.io, the subdomain, but if we wanted to add additional websites, we can do that with a subdirectory. So let me show you how we can do that. So let's get out of here. And what we're going to do is actually create a second, since it's going to be a separate site, a second repository for this demonstration. So let's add this, let's make this full screen, and then we'll make a new repository. And remember how I was saying in the beginning, if you wanted to have the subdomain working, you would have to do tonyflow.github.io. Well, if you wanted to do a subdirectory, you can just type something like demo. Okay, very simple. And then we'll do the same thing as before. We'll add the README and create the repository. And what we want to, first we can go into settings and then go down to the GitHub Pages section. And you'll see that it looks a little bit different than it did before. And right now, it's saying that there is no website running. But if we wanted to do that, we can select the main branch here, and that's going to serve out of that directory. And like we did before, well, we can pick a theme, but let me first point out that we're using tonyflow.github.io/demo, right? So let's open that up. And again, we're getting that 404 because it takes whatever amount of time to propagate. But in the meantime, let's choose a theme. This time we'll choose the hack theme. That looks a little bit different. So let's select that theme. And again, this is just going to be the same process as before. It's just a difference between a subdomain, the default subdomain, and then a subdirectory under that. So let's see if that has finished loading. Not yet, unfortunately. I'll give it a few minutes. Hopefully that works. Let's pause one last time here, and then I'll catch up with you when it finishes. And literally right after I pause the video, I refresh the page, and it has loaded up here at tonyflow.github.io/demo. So again, you can use Markdown here. You can do your custom HTML, CSS, JavaScript website in either case for a subdirectory or a subdomain. So, oh guys, and one last thing, I forgot to mention that if you do want to theme, a Jekyll theme that's not listed, as you saw before, you can go to jekyllrb.com/resources, and then there's all these repositories for themes that you can apply. So let's just look at this one, jamstackthemes.dev. So you have all of these other themes that you can get here. The other options are jekyllthemes.org, and even more options here, lots of options. And then the last one, jekyllthemes.io. So, and these look, some of them are paid, you have to pay for, some of them are free. So I just wanted to make sure I mentioned that. We'll continue on this video. Guys, if you have any questions about this, let me know in the comments below. I'll do my best to help you out. I have another video about how to add a custom domain name, one that's not github.io, that you can check out here. Please subscribe for more videos like this from me in the future, and if you do, I'll see you in the next one.